Annual exams are important to the well-being of your dog and should be started when they are still puppies.
When they're 6 weeks old, puppies come in for their initial parvo vaccine. At that time, we go ahead and do an intestinal parasite screen. Usually those puppies are dewormed or treated for whatever intestinal parasites they have at that time. They will then come back at 8, 12, and 16 weeks for booster vaccines. We will also start them on heartworm preventative at their last vaccine at 16 weeks, and go ahead and give them the rabies vaccine at that point.
Annual exams are also important to the wellness of your cat, and like dogs, should start when they are kittens.
Kittens are somewhat similar with them coming in at 8 and 12 weeks. They will go ahead and do a feline leukemia and FIV test. That's recommended at their initial visit. Feline leukemia and FIV in kittens is a viral disease that can be passed from the mother to the kittens that doesn't have a cure to it. It's somewhat like AIDS in people in that it is a retrovirus. So that's why we like to test them at a young age so that the owners know exactly what they're dealing with and know if they have a chronic condition that they're going to have to deal with the rest of the kitten's life.
While your cat is visiting the vet for the first time, they will also be checked for any congenital conditions that may exist and for the presence of any intestinal parasites. At 6 months of age, it is recommended to have your pet spayed or neutered.
It's important to go ahead and do that as early as possible so that you can, with the females, avoid mammary tumors by getting them spayed before the first heat cycle. And with the males, you can also avoid any prostate problems as well.
Spaying or neutering your pet early in life will also reduce behavioral issues such as urine markings, spraying, roaming, and aggression to other animals as well. Once you enter into your pet's first year of life, an ongoing annual exam will help to detect any other issues that could affect the health of your pet later in life.
With our annual exams, what we do offer is a wellness profiles, and at that time we can actually check a health profile, sending out some blood work and urinalysis, where we look at some, the early markers to check for any kind of metabolic disease or kidney disease. Actually can check a thyroid level and a heartworm test. That is a really good way to check for any disease processes that are starting early and try to catch those diseases before they start causing really detrimental effects to the pet.
Don't be surprised if your doctor brings up the topic of heartworms.
We like to keep the pets on heartworm preventative year-round because heartworm disease in this area is a real problem. If the pets get heartworms, what that is an actual parasite that lives in the pulmonary artery that can cause damage to those vessels and to the heart and cause damages to the lungs and to the valves in the heart. And that is simply a pill that you give once a month. It will deworm the animal for intestinal parasites and also prevent them from getting heartworms.
During an annual examination, you can also expect the doctor to pay extra attention to the oral health and hygiene of your pet.
This is important to do as early as possible so that we can avoid any systemic problems with dental disease such as tooth loss or where the bacteria can actually go through the bloodstream and cause organ damage to the kidneys or to the heart. That is a possibility as well. What we typically do is bring the pet in the morning, clean the teeth, while the pet is under anesthesia, and then it will go home that evening. Some of those, if they have really bad periodontal disease, will have to be on antibiotics for 7 to 10 days.
Your doctor may also bring up the topic of flea and tick prevention during your pet's annual exam.
We also recommend flea and tick preventative year-round because in this area we do see lots of ticks in the wintertime as well as fleas. You can prevent a lot of tick-borne diseases such as Ehrlichia, Lyme disease, and in cats cytoxoin, which is a disease that causes destruction of the red blood cells by keeping your animals on tick preventative year-round.
By simply bringing your pet into Ragland-Riley, starting as a puppy or kitten, and then following up once a year with an annual exam, you could prolong your pet's time with you as well as keeping them happy and healthy for the duration of their life.